sports fans, to another week of Inside the Eagles Nest. As always, I'm Kevin Tosh, along with my partner in crime, Justin Hall. Justin, 10 games in the season and the regular season for Franklin County in the books, capping it off with their third straight Western Valley District title, remaining undefeated in district play under head coach Chris Jones. Kind of unheard of in the Western Valley District to take 3 straight championships since its inception. 34-0 whooping. It's the only way to say it. Of Patrick Henry. They stopped that high-powered offense. They stopped David Prince, stopped Xavier Worley. Like we said, 34-0. Finished Western Valley District 4-0. Finished 8-2 on the season. A lot of people didn't really know, losing a lot of players off of last year's Franklin County team. What did you see last Friday night at Patrick Henry?
Well, I saw a good old-fashioned butt whooping. You know, we talked about it on last week's webcast. That basically, you know, if we can stop David Prince and Xavier Worley and keep PH off the field, then, I mean, they couldn't score against us. Well, they didn't score against us. And, I mean, I think we proved a lot of naysayers and doubters wrong about Franklin County football. I mean, you check message boards and everything nowadays, and they're like, and they're true believers in Franklin County football. So, I mean, it was great. You know, Coach Jones is now 12-0 as a career in the Western Valley District and hasn't lost a single game. So, I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's fun to be an Eagle fan.
That's right. And taking nothing away from this Patrick Henry ball club, they're a great team. Just wasn't their night. Franklin County had their number. Coach Alan Fidler has done a number on this Patrick Henry team since he came from Glenville State. You know, they played a Battlefield team, played them really close, played a Martinsburg, West Virginia team, which is, would you tell me, 100th in the nation now?
Yeah.
Played them close. You know, there's still an outside chance all the stars aligned this week in Week 11 of the high school season. They could make it into the playoffs. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the second half of our show. But like we said, the Franklin County defense is really stepping up now. The linebackers, the defensive line play.
The defensive backs. I mean, 3 interceptions in the past game. So,
and they were not easy interceptions, a lot of them. I believe Jalen Gill had the diving interception late in the first half. So, I mean, they're making plays on the ball. But like you said, we knew we had to stop David Prince going in to last week. And one of the big factors in that was Tyler Toon at defensive tackle. I mean, he's a big kid.
He's a beast.
I believe he played fullback last year on the JV squad. So, I mean, he's got speed. And it just seemed like he was playing at another level, just wrapping up David Prince. But like you said, the defense really starting to step up, moving Terrell Basham to outside linebacker. I believe that's going to be, if he plays at the next level, that's going to be a position that he's really going to excel at.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the defense is starting to excel. I mean, and against GW Danville and against PH, combined 54 rushing yards against Franklin County. That's unheard of with those two athletic teams. I mean, even David Prince, you know, as we discussed last week, offers to go to the University of Virginia and Virginia Tech to play football at the next level. And he's only a junior. So, I mean, we held him to 11 yards on 11 carries. That's unbelievable.
And I think in the last 2 weeks, really what we saw, this defense has the talent to be really great, to be a really good defense. But here in the early part of the season and really going into the late and coming into district play, they were trying to make the individual play. They were trying to make the highlight tackle. They were trying to make the tackle themselves. These last 2 weeks against a really tough GW Danville team and a Patrick Henry team, they played good team football. They maintained their lanes. They did what they could. And, you know, they just really got after Patrick Henry. I guess we can go ahead and flip over to the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what clicked after that Christiansburg game. I guess when you almost end your scoring streak, you know, it's over 100 games, makes you want to start doing things a little bit different. But it seems like it's really starting to click for this team. The offensive line doing a great job getting out front and blocking. And this running back core, which it's really a core, it's not just one back, doing a great job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kyle Ellis, his past 2 games have been amazing. It's like he's understanding the leadership role of the offense. I mean, he's keeping the ball in the option when he has to. I mean, he's got a little swagger going on. If you saw his touchdown run against PH, I mean, it looked good. I mean, it's like, I'll say it again, it's good to be an Eagle fan now. I mean, we are living the glory days of Franklin County football, as you said before, like we had when we were in high school. I mean, it feels great to win again.
Well, I know if you looked at our website early in the season, I was talking about the wing tee. I called it kind of the magician's offense. You hide the ball, and I don't know, but Kyle Ellis really is a magician. When he runs those fakes, the belly options, he just hides the ball so well, and he's able to fake a really good Patrick Henry defense last week. Goes in untouched. But, you know, you have Alex Keys is one of the most patient runners I've ever seen. Here lately in the end of the season here, waiting behind his blockers. You'll see he has one hand on the blocker, one hand on the ball, and he's just using those big bodies up front to pick up good yards. He's able to float on air, kind of dance around. Then you have David McGee, who's just come on, is a really good runner. He's finally starting to understand you don't have to go outside every time. He's finding that first hole, cutting up the field. Christian Witcher, every time he touches the ball, you kind of hold your breath. He's going to pick off big chunks of yards. And then the workhorse of this run and attack, Chance Tyree, leading the team in rushing on the season. He's really just, I guess he's the main motor of this offense. It goes through him. But when you talk about Kyle Ellis, the passing game are really starting to improve here late in the season.
Yeah, I mean, the teams are going to put 9 in a box and hold Franklin County. Kyle Ellis is going to make them pay. I mean, he had 2 big passes there at the end of the half against PH, and I mean, they were on the money. I mean, the kid can pass the ball, and, you know, Colonial Forge, Garfield, whoever we play next, they really need to start looking at that.
That's right. You know, they do a good job utilizing Terrell Basham. He's more of their stretching the field down. He's going to run your fly and your streak routes. He does a good job. He's got the size to go up and catch the ball, but they're starting to utilize Harris, Keys especially in the passing game. They're getting these guys underneath and over top of the linebackers on crossing routes, and that's what it takes to do. But like you said, the passing game's starting to come into effect. The running game's continuing to click on. The defense is getting better. Coming out of the regular season 8-2, looks like, well, they're definitely going to be in the playoffs, and they're definitely, I'll go out on a limb here and say they're probably going to have a home game next Friday night. It's just kind of decide now whether they're going to be the 3 seed or the 4 seed, and really just who they're going to have to play in the first round of the Northwest Region Division 6 playoffs. And we'll kind of tell you a little bit of that when we come back. And welcome back to Inside the Eagles Nest. Well, we've recapped last week's win and the Western Valley District title for Franklin County, so that's going to give them an automatic berth into the Northwest Region playoffs. Really, they don't need it. The PowerPoint's kind of shaking out this way. Atop the leaderboard, really secured as a #1 C.D. Hilton Division 5 last year, really making their presence known in the Northwest Region D6. In second place, currently right now with 1 week left to play, Battlefield, a team that Franklin County knows all too well. They played them a couple years ago in the playoffs. #3 right at this point in the latest rankings is Garfield sitting in 3rd, Franklin County in 4th. In 5th is Osborne, another team that was in D5 last year. So that's 2 D5 teams moved up to D6, making their presence known. And currently in 6th, in the last spot in the playoffs, is Colonial Forge, who fell after losing to Massaponax last week. So a lot of shaking ups to do, but there's 1 game left, or 1 week left in the Virginia High School League schedule. So tell us a little bit about how these points are shaking up, Justin.
Well, right now, Kevin, Franklin County has 273 power points. Garfield has 249 power points. Garfield's going to play next week. I mean, they're heavily favored, so they're going to get 24 points for that win, which is going to knock them even at 273 with 10 games. Now, the trick of this is going to come down to the bonus points. For the people that don't understand power points, every team that Franklin County beats, like say we beat PH, so Franklin County gets 2 points for every single one of PH's wins. Franklin County lost to Christiansburg and Magna Vista, so we'll only get 1 point for those. Next week, William Fleming and PH play. If William Fleming wins, we get 4 bonus points because we beat them twice. And whereas PH wins, we get 2. I mean, we can just go ahead and predict PH wins. That gives us 2 points. Halifax County, GW plays. I mean, we beat both of them, so that's another guaranteed 2 points for Franklin County. So that's the point total 4. Bassett plays Magna Vista. I mean, of course, we're going to predict Magna Vista is going to win. That's 1 point since we lost to Magna Vista. It's 5 points. Then Woodbridge is playing. So, I mean, they're heavily favored against their opponent. I've never forgot who they're playing.
Stonewall Jackson.
Stonewall Jackson, that's right. And so that's 7 points for Franklin County. Then Salem plays Pulaski. Salem once again is a heavy favor, 9 points. And then Christiansburg's playing a winless Blacksburg team. Blacksburg's basically, they're going to lose again. That's 1 point, 10 bonus points for Franklin County for our predictions. But they're guaranteed at least 5. Mm-hmm. Garfield, on the other hand, is playing their games next week is Woodbridge, Stonewall Jackson again. So Woodbridge wins 2 points. Then you have Potomac and Forest Park, where they've beat both teams, so they're going to get another 2 points there. Freedom, Broad Run, basically, I mean, I think Broad Run's the predicted winner up there.
You would have to imagine.
Yeah, and so that's 0 points for them. And then Osborne Park and Hilton. And Hilton's the heavy favor in that one. So that's 5 points for them. I mean, even if Freedom does beat Broad Run, that's still 7 points. Franklin County gets the advantage by 3 points. Therefore, Franklin County becoming the 3 seed. I mean, a lot of stuff's going to have to go wrong. A lot of upsets. Pulaski's going to have to beat Salem for the first time in many years. I mean, Blacksburg is going to have to pull a remarkable upset against Christiansburg just for us not to get the 3 seed. And the big thing about the 3 seed is if Franklin County does happen to win their first round of playoffs, we play Battlefield instead of the heavy favored C.D. Hilton.
So it's really a big benefit there for being the 3 seed, especially in the first round. You have to play the game with the 3 seed. You're getting the 6 seed. Usually that's going to be a little bit weaker team. Could be Colonial Forge. Could be a Woodbridge team that we played earlier in the season. Colonial Forge goes down and Woodbridge wins. As a fan, I don't think I'd like to see us play Woodbridge again, just for the simple fact we've played them before. We know the athletes they've had. They know what to expect out of Franklin County. And Franklin County fans starting to build a little bit of a Northwest region rivalry with Colonial Forge. You know, we had their first ever playoff win on a last-second field goal 2 years ago. Colonial Forge able to take us out last year. But so it's a little bit of a rivalry game there. So it's, in all intents and purposes, if nothing goes wrong, it looks like Franklin County is going to come into the first round of the playoffs with a 3 seed. Garfield looking like they're going to be a 4 seed. Could be a little bit of a jostling there with Osborne. But looks like Garfield's going to be a 4 seed. Osborne going to be the 5th seed. Looks like Colonial Forge will be the 6th seed, but like we said, Woodbridge has a chance to jump up. And if a lot of things happen, the stars align, all the formations happen, everybody loses who needs to, everybody wins who needs to, it could be a Patrick Henry team coming in the 6th spot. Not looking like it's going to be happening, but I know they would like one more chance at this Franklin County team.
That's worst case scenario for Franklin County right there. They do not want to play PH twice, especially after the butt whipping they just got in the pass field. And, I mean, a lot of PH fans, a lot of Franklin County fans that are still naysayers in this offense was using last week's horrible weather as an excuse for PH's default.
That's right. And just a little bit of a recap here. First round buys in the Northwest Region D6 playoffs. First seed C.D. Hilton, they won't have to play in the first week of the playoffs. And Battlefield, the first 2 seeds wrapping up the bye. Nobody's going to be able to catch them. Those 2 are wrapped up. It looks like at this point, with still 1 week to play, we have to keep stressing that. We'll be able to tell you a little bit more in next week's episode. Looks like it's going to be Franklin County playing host to what looks like it's going to be Colonial Forge. Like we said, we'll let you know definitely next week. And also, 4 seed looks like it's going to be Garfield hosting Osborne, which would be a really good game. And like we said, Franklin County, if they get the 3 seed and are able to come out with a win in the first round, will be traveling to Battlefield, a team that really put it to us 2 years ago in the playoffs. But like we said, it's still 1 more week of football left to play. So everything's up in the air. These are just our pontifications and our hypotheses, whatever big scientific words you want to throw out there. But the numbers, they're still starting to fall into place. But it looks like the battle now is just going to be between Franklin County and Garfield for the seeding, who they'll play in the second round if they're able to make the first round, and who they're going to play. So it's just a lot of stuff left to be had here. But just look on our website. I'll probably try to update it tomorrow to which of the Franklin County fans, what teams you should be pulling for tomorrow night, since there's no Eagle ball game to go to. There's still teams that you need to be paying attention to. Justin, anything else you have left to talk about as we look into the last week of the season?
Nope. I just hope the next game has a little bit better weather for it. I mean, I just got over the sickness I had from last Friday night, and I don't want to be stuck out in the rain again.
That's right. It's never fun to play. And a lot of schools, especially Franklin County, they don't have the really nice artificial turf that Roanoke County and Patrick Henry does. If that game would have been in Franklin County, it might have been a little bit of a rough situation on the field. But the crowd for Franklin County, we want to give a big shout out to every fan that came out to Patrick Henry. I would go out on a limb and say I believe the Franklin County fans outnumbered the PH fans.
Oh, yeah, it was standing room only on Franklin County's side, and that's including the extended bleachers that PH brought in just for this game. So, but, I mean, definitely by the end of the third quarter, Franklin County had more fans than PH there. I mean, like I said, it feels good to win.
That's right, and then the fans are really backing this Franklin County team. We're running out of time here. Also want to give a congratulations to the Western Valley District cheer champions. I believe it's 8 years in a row. Yeah. Franklin County Eagles. Big shout out to them. And also want to give a shout out to Denise Aspel and the Franklin County High School marching band, who were able to make it out to the final game of the season against PH. They traveled out there in the bad weather. It's really makes a big difference when you have a band to cheer on the team. Just makes it really feel like a football game. As we were able to hear the PH band, they sounded really good. It just adds to the whole ambiance of the game. But I believe that's about all the time we have for now. Don't forget to check back in on the website. We'll try to keep you up to date on who won and who lost this week and what implications that has. And be sure definitely to tune in next week as we'll recap some of the games and how they turned out this Friday. And we'll be able to tell you who Franklin County is going to face in the first round of the Northwest Region playoffs. Definitely check back early and often. Once again, thank you for watching.